Hello and welcome to this course titled An Invitation to Mathematics. So, we will start out by talking about polynomials, which are one of the very basic objects in mathematics. So, we have polynomials. So, let us start by giving some examples of polynomials. So, I wrote down two examples of polynomials. So, typically a polynomial looks like a combination of various powers of a variable, in this case the variable x, and notice that in addition to the variable itself, so in addition to powers of the variable, what you have are some coefficients, some numbers which multiply them. For instance, you have the number 1 by 10 multiplying x power 10, we have 2 by 3 multiplying x, you have a constant root 3 and so on. So, the general formal definition of a polynomial is, well, it is an expression of the following form. So, a polynomial is an expression of the form a0 plus a1x plus a2x square and so on till a d x power d, where what are all these various things where, so firstly what is d? D is greater than or equal to 0, an integer. So, it is greater than or equal to 0, and so maybe a better way to say it is d is a non-negative integer and what are these ai's? So, they are what are called the coefficients. So, and what are ai's? So, a0, a1, a2 till ad are what are called the coefficients and they can be numbers of various kinds. So, for instance, we can have coefficients which are real numbers, they could be complex numbers, they could be integers and so on. So, what are these coefficients? They are could be real numbers, complex numbers, integers. So, you can have various restrictions on what kinds of coefficients are allowed. Okay, now this number d here, so observe that when you have a combination of powers of x, you can always assume that d is the largest power of x which appears. Okay, so here are various small observations. Note that we can assume that AD is not 0. Okay, so that is the first observation. We can always assume that d is the largest coefficient which appears. Point number 2, some of the other ai's could very well be 0. So, we are not forbidding that. For instance, in the second example here, the degree d, so this number d is called the degree, d is 10 because it is the largest power of x which appears, but you do not really have all powers of x appearing. So, you do not have x power 9, you do not have x power 8 and so on. So, you could have other powers. So, some of the other ai's could be 0, some of the ai's could be 0, there is no problem with that. And I just wanted to say the terminology d is what is called the degree of this polynomial. It is the largest power of x which appears, and so let us see what else is there about the degree itself. So here are some simple properties of the degree that will often be useful. So firstly, the degree is, so the degree of the 0 polynomial is not defined. So what do we mean by the 0 polynomial? So observe, when we say the 0 polynomial, we just mean, think of all the AIs as just being 0. There is no power of x which appears, it is only a constant term, the constant term is 0. So in this case the degree is not really defined, because remember the degree was supposed to be the largest power of x which appears with a non-zero coefficient. Okay. Now since no power of x really appears in the 0 polynomial, you do not really define the degree for the 0 polynomial. So this guy does not have a degree. So here is another way of saying this, we just shorten degree to deg. Deg of 0 is not defined, you only define degree for non-zero polynomials. Now if f and g, so often we will use some symbol to denote a polynomial. So for instance we could call this polynomial as f of x, okay, or we will use other symbols as well, g of x and so on. So we have degree of, so if f and g, if f of x and g of x are non-zero polynomials, then degree of their sum, so let us call it f of x plus g of x, is less than or equal to the maximum of the degrees. And so this is property 1. Property 2 says the degree of the product f of x times g of x is exactly the sum of their degrees, degree of f of x plus degree of g of x. Okay. So we have, what have we done so far? We just defined what a polynomial is, it is an expression of that form. We have said what the coefficients mean, the coefficients are just these numbers in front. We have said what the degree means, it is the highest power of x which appears, and what we have done is written down some simple properties of the degree. So observe that while we did this, I have sort of silently slipped in two operations here. I have said something about a sum of two polynomials and the product of two polynomials. Okay. So these are just the natural operations on polynomials. So here are here's basically the following question: what can you do with polynomials? What can one do with polynomials? What sorts of operations can you subject them to? So there are several different operations. So one is the sum, the other is the product. So let us write each of them. One, sum. So what does the sum of two polynomials mean? Suppose I have two polynomials f of x and g of x. So okay, with the assumption that AD is not 0, and I have another polynomial, let us say b0 plus, and it could go to a, it could have a different degree. So let us call that degree something else. So I will call it let us say be x power e. Okay. So d is the degree of the top polynomial, e is the degree of the second polynomial. Then the sum is just defined sort of term by term. So how do you define the sum of the two polynomials? In the obvious way. So I assume this must be familiar. So we just take a0 plus b0, as the constant term, and then you collect coefficients of like powers of x. So, for x the coefficient is now a1 plus b1 and so on. And observe that while doing this you might at some point run out of powers of x, because for instance if the second polynomial has higher degree than the first, adding them for instance until degree d you could of course you will be able to collect coefficients. Beyond that it will happen that g has more terms than f, okay, in which case you just treat the coefficients of those things as 0 here. So, for example if e is bigger than d, I would sort of pretend that the other powers of x do appear with coefficient 0 for instance. So, you would think of it as 0 x to the d plus 1, 0 x to the d plus 2 and so on till 0 x power e. Okay. So, that is the way you do the addition, you just keep going all the way till you reach the the highest power of x. So, I am not being too formal about this. And similarly the product again is the familiar operation f of x times g of x. So, you write these two things out and then you just use the distributive law and just expand the whole thing out. Okay. So, when you do this, for example I will multiply these two things out, I will get, so a0 b0 will be the constant term. To get a coefficient of x I need to multiply a0 with b1x and a1 with b0x, I mean with b0 with a1x. So, this is plus a0 b1 plus a1 b0 times x, and then to get a coefficient of x square similarly notice you will have to have a0 b2 b2 x square. So, let us write that down, a0 b2 x square, a1 b1 will give you an x square and a2 b0 also give you an x square, and you keep going, you just multiply the whole thing out completely and whatever you get is called the product of the polynomials. Okay. So, these are both just the obvious operations on polynomials. So, one other operation is you can substitute. So, I sort of also wrote product here. The third thing you can do with a polynomial is to substitute values for x. Okay. So, you treat it like a function. So, if I have a polynomial f of x, so again the obvious thing, say I give you x squared plus 2x, then I plug in various values for x. So, imagine I am plugging in various real numbers and I could sort of see what happens. So, for instance if I plug in x equal to 0, this gives me 0, if I plug in x equals 1 it gives me a 3, x equals 2 gives me 8 and so on. So, I could think of various values for x, and of course the usual graphical pictorial depiction of this is by the graph of the function. So, you plot the x and the y axes. Along the x axis you plug in various values for the variable x, in this case let us call it x, and along the y axis you plot the values of the polynomial f of x. So, for instance at 0 the value is 0, at 1 we said the value is 3. So, x equals 1, y equals 3, that is this point, and at 2 the value is 8. Plot this point and so on, and of course you join all of them up by a curve, and we sort of get the familiar parabola in this case. So, that is just a pictorial depiction of this polynomial itself, it is a graph of this polynomial. Okay. So, again something that should be very familiar, and this brings us to the notion of a root of a polynomial. So, what is a root? Of the polynomial f is just a value at which the polynomial becomes 0. So, you say that x is a root of f, x equals a, let us say, is a root x equals a is a root of f if when you plug in the value a, the polynomial becomes 0. So, in this example there are two roots, there are two values at which the polynomial takes the value 0. So, one of them is of course 0 and the other is minus 2. Okay. So, to find the roots, again this is the standard procedure of solving a quadratic equation. I have x square plus 2x and I want to know what are the values of x which make this 0. So, we have x times x plus 2 is 0 and we solve this to find the two roots. Okay. So, I am just sort of reviewing the various familiar facts about polynomials.